In the past two videos we've explored slices, and in this video we'll talk about even more on slices. I previously mentioned that there is a three-integer form of slicing, and the third integer provides an increment. So the template is we would specify some sequence or an expression that returns a sequence. Then within square brackets we would again have the start value. We would separate that using a colon from the stop value, and then if we want to we can specify an increment, and this increment is separated from the stop value by a colon. So we have that the thing that I'm writing as inc is equal to the increment, and it has a default of 1, and this is very similar to the third argument that we give with the range function. That has a default value of 1, and the increment just specifies the offset between successive indices in the slice. Let's redefine the string we had before. So s is equal to the string hello with an exclamation point, and we can get every other character of the string starting from the first character. If we create a slice where we specify the start as 0, there are 6 characters in this string, so let's make the stop 6, and then let's have an increment of 2, and now we get the H, the L, and the O, so indices of 0, 2, and 4. Recognizing that 0 is the default value for the start and 6 is the default value for the stop, we could have written S and then have the slice use its default start value, its default stop value, and an increment of 2. We could construct the same string without using slicing. We could grab the first character, concatenate that with the character that has an index of 2, and concatenate that with the character that has an index of 4, and then we get the same string, but clearly the sliced version is a bit more convenient to write. How about if we want the characters with indices 1, 3, and 5? We can take the slice with a start value of 1, go up to 6, but we don't include 6 for the indices, and again have an increment of 2, and now we get the E, the second L, and the exclamation point. But again, recognizing that 6 is the default stop value, we could have written S and then have a start value of 1, the default stop value, and then an increment of 2, and we get the same thing. Things get a bit more interesting when we realize that we can have negative increments. How about we start at the end of the string and go to the beginning, but we'll use an increment of -1. Let's have the start value -1, and that's the index for the last character in the string, and then go to the negative of the length of the string, -1. So that's 1 less than the index for the first character of the string using negative indexing. And now we'll use an increment of -1. And there we get the string in reverse order. And actually, if we have a negative increment, the defaults for the start and stop values are essentially reversed. So we could obtain the elements of a sequence in reverse order simply by writing the sequence, then using the default start value, the default stop value, but putting an increment of -1. And then hitting return, we get the sequence, in this case the string, in reverse order. We'll stop there, and in the next video we'll consider just one more thing about slices, and that's the fact that a slice can appear on the left-hand side of an assignment operation.